Hello. How are you doing?
I made myself tea.
Oh, that's nice. I'm very surprised you can do that.
I know the recipe. Vanishma,
Good, and you?
good. I'm looking all the stuff behind me.
Look, my stuff behind me. I know
So,
our moms will be proud of us.
so tell me what is happening.
I tried to figure out family stories, and it's really hard to get into it because people just have a problem to remember. It's kind of difficult to figure out, like, to go back to Romania and to figure out what happened with these pogroms, what happened with the Jewish life in Yash before, because I mean, you know a bit about Yash, right? Because of
Yes, but what you say is that there is no witness anymore. There's just people that heard it, all from the witnesses, right? So I googled the Yassi pogrom, and I'm glad that the Google auto search Yassi pogrom was fourth. I typed pogrom, and the fourth result was pogrom in Yash. Yes, so and there's a lot of horrible photos, which is surprising because you don't have photos. Like it's sort of a new pogrom. It's not like the pogroms we read about from 1910 or you know. So there's a lot of ugly photos.
because it was in the time of already documentation. So there will be like more pictures than before, of course.
Hmm.
Oh, damn, that's the train. I'm living next to the train station. Can you hear?
Yes. Speaking of the devil, did
I'm
I tell you
sorry
that
that
my
I'm laughing about it.
did I tell you that my grandmother studied to be a nurse in Yassi?
No.
She went from Chernovitz to Yassi to study Krankenschwester, and then she came back to Chernovitz to be like to work there.
You met her, right? You
But
know.
yes, she just died like at 100 3 months ago.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Wow, and it's interesting. She still had friends from Yashi here in Israel, which was very surprising because she didn't see them for many years, being in Siberia and so on. So somehow she reconnected.
Did she told you something about Yash?
No, like there were. I don't think there was so much to tell because it was like small detail in her life.
Okay, but she didn't. When was she there? She wasn't there around the pogrom.
No, 1941, they were farshikt, like sent away to Siberia by the Soviets because they were kind of capitalists abusing the proletar because they had electricity store. And then what happened is that they were they were saved by history accident, you know, because 6 months later the Romanian came, like Romanian army together with the Nazis, and Chernovitz and Ukraine became, war territory, and everybody was sent to Transnistria or, you know, the Holocaust. So they were very lucky in that way, although they had a horrible 25 years in Siberia and stuff.
Did she told you something about the Romanians?
And she only said one funny story that she, like, it's funny, but when the first Romanian soldiers started to arrive, um, she said they thought they were like drunk gypsies walking on the road, and then she found out like the men in schmattes were like Romanian soldiers. So maybe she's probably speaking maybe about pre-war stuff. I don't know.
Crazy. I didn't know it. It's kind of funny that like the involvement about the Romanians between our two families. Because for me, it's sometimes really like weird to have, like, my mom has, for example, photos and photo albums, but and there is like a life before the pogrom, and as well there is a life from Romania, but there is still like a lot of gaps because my mom was very small and my grandparents don't live anymore since ages, and I even can't remember I was talking with my grandfather about it because I grew up with him, but I can't remember it. Even we went as kids. She took us to Yash.
So I think the main point was what your mother does remember.
Yes, she remembers next to like her life as a very small child in Yash. She remembered that she has been told that her grandfathers went to the market and they never came back.
How does your mother remember what she remembers? She was old enough to kind of capture this, or you think somebody kind of put it in her memory? You know what I mean?
I think somebody put in her memory stories, and this is what she heard about her grandparents, because I mean, they were killed in the pogrom, both of them, when she was around 3 years old. And then we have the situation that my auntie in Buenos Aires is telling something else that my mother told me the whole life. So it's more like looking for biographies we don't know, because there are just like a few pieces, and it's so hard to see, like, if you have this kind of pogroms or genocides or whatever, like a Shoah, how people just vanish in history, and you can't go back to your family to see who was that person, where does he live, what was his life. You can't reconstruct the own family history. It's so sad. I'm
Especially
tragic.
when the people that witness it are already not here.
Yes, and the crazy thing is that probably like the second generation is maybe not talking with the first generation, or there is like a weird communication. So we haven't been told like that much, and we were too small to. I was too small to ask my grandfather about these things.
Yeah. Do you think they hated Romania after this?
No, I don't have the feeling they hated Romania. It was like the place where they came from, but I think they were staying with a romantic idea, and this is why I like as well the song Romania, Romania,
Yeah.
because it's like exactly this, like the idea the country was full of mamaliga and wine and whatever, and it's on the end just a theater piece, it's just like a nice song where everyone knows.
But it's nice, like these nostalgic songs, they are not false. They talk about real feelings. Like somebody really did feel this way about Romania.
Yes, but it's as well so exaggerated.
Of course it's exaggerated, but it's always like, nostalgia is it's misleading.
Yes. And it's interesting because when we were traveling to Romania as a kid, it was looking so different that we had all the stories about the country and as well about Yash, because it was like two different worlds. And my mom mainly took us because she was always bringing clothes to the Jewish communities and to the people. We went with her, like, with all this luggage, and the impression was, of course, like, we knew she's from there, but somehow it was another picture, that she was talking to us when she was a kid and telling stories that my grandfather had like two stores, I think one in Iași and one in Bucharest, and it was like one of the first stores for toys and things like that.
This is already like new world stuff. You know what I mean? It's not really old world.
The toy store?
Yeah, all this stuff. It's not like a lot of stuff. How should I say? Like shtetl history, old world, no electricity, religious people, chachomim of Chelem kind of thing. It's already urban culture, you know.
It was urban culture.
It's something that people really forget when we speak about like all the civilization that was vanished in the Holocaust.
That's true, because it was like urban, and as well the photos I saw, there are like modern people with what is Kinderwagen, with
Kinderwagen.
yeah, with Kinderwagen, and you have like these nice dressed people, magazines, streets, you know, like cities, and you don't have the feeling it was, yeah, how you said, it's not like shtetl life, it's really like urbanity, modern people, and it's very interesting to see like where they came from, because what I got from Iași is like concrete, concrete, and concrete. This is what I remember when I have been the last time there, and I'm very curious to go now to Iași and to see the place.
I wonder how the Romanians treat it now.
What do you mean?
Like the Romanians know the history because the pogromchiki, you know, the people that did the pogrom were not Nazi soldiers.
Yes.
So I wonder how they treat this part of history. I can't hear you.
Don't hear me? I didn't say anything.
Okay. I was surprised suddenly you're quiet. Efes Gishen?